Since prehistoric times, from the UK, throughout Europe, Asia, and into the Americas, the bear has been worshipped and immortalized in myth and fable to become the official symbol of several countries around the world. There are 8 different species of bear throughout North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. The 8 species of bear share similar physical characteristics, including long snouts, shaggy hair, large bodies, and stocky legs. They also possess plantar-grade paws with non-retractable claws for fighting and defending. Bears are solitary animals, except in times of courting. They're generally active during the day, but have been known to go about their business at night. Brown bears feed on vegetation, small land mammals, and fish. They possess a particularly voracious appetite for salmon. They're the dominant predator in the environment, completely unthreatened apart from human beings who have hunted them for sport or out of fear. The grizzly bear, a subspecies of the brown bear, easily dominates any animal in its territory. Other apex predators like wolves and cougars know this and will surrender their prey without a fight. Grizzly bears generally avoid people, but their temperament can easily swing if cornered, surprised, or their cubs are threatened. A mother bear will not hesitate to defend her offspring from other animals, including other bears. They stand up to 4 feet when on all fours, and between 5 and 8 feet when standing on their hind legs. Despite poor eyesight, they have a super keen sense of smell, their main tracking tool when hunting prey or foraging for food. The enormous shoulder muscles of the grizzly bear, coupled with immensely strong forearms, giant paws, and razor-sharp claws, growing up to 6 inches. Bear claws are not just used to inflict death. They are also used to turn over rocks, rip bark from trees, and tear open logs in the search for insects to eat. The claw's shape will differ according to the type of bear. Climbing bears, like black bears, have very strong curved claws to grip tree bark, while digging bears, like grizzlies, are long and straight. Polar bears have curved claws that are sharp and strong to not just catch and hold prey, but provide traction on slick ice. The polar bear has 4 large paws, each with 5 toes with long claws that are around 2 inches long. The front claws are much longer. However, the back paws themselves are larger for stability when the bear stands on their hind legs. The entire design of both front and back paws and claws enable the bear to run fast, climb trees, and swim. The polar bear and Alaskan Kodiak bear are the largest carnivores on Earth, measuring often in excess of 9 feet and weighing more than 1,500 pounds. With no real natural enemies, the only conflict bears have is amongst themselves. Males will battle other males for territory and the right to mate by standing on their hind legs and shoving each other. When things get overheated, they swing their huge paws at each other, doing considerable damage with their claws. The victorious male then has to compete with a female bear. If she already has cubs, the male will try to kill them, ensuring the survival of his genes, But if he thought the battle with the other male was hard, he has little chance of besting an angry mother bear. If hunting, the bear prefers to ambush rather than stalk, hiding and patiently waiting until their quarry's within range, then rushing and swiping it with its claws, killing it with one mighty blow. When the salmon runs, it's one of the only instances these bears tolerate each other's company, knowing there is plenty of fish for everyone to gorge themselves on. In the regions where bears are found, they dominate all other animals. But birds have little to fear, particularly the owl, who not only share their same territory, but also use their claws as a weapon. In Western culture, the owl symbolizes wisdom, but throughout Africa and for many Native Americans, they were the harbingers of death. It's easy to understand why when you witness an owl's claws in full effect. Raptors are birds of prey that include eagles, hawks, ospreys, and owls. Owls are nocturnal predators, possessing binocular vision and binaural hearing. They are solitary birds designed for silent flight, and with sharp talons for hunting and defending. There are many species of owl found on every continent except Antarctica. And they vary greatly in size. The heaviest and largest winged are the Blackiston fish owl and Eurasian eagle owl, weighing 10 pounds, possessing a wingspan of 6.6 feet. Owls are totally carnivorous, with a diet consisting of insects and rodents, with a few species specifically adapted to hunt fish. All are incredible hunters with varying skills depending on their environment, but most characteristics are shared amongst all species. Amazing sight and hearing to quickly locate prey. Their hunting strategy is reliant on stealth and surprise, and thanks to their unique wings and camouflage, few creatures hear or see an owl coming. The owl has 4 toes on each foot. While in flight or perching, 3 toes face forward, and 1 longer claw, the hallux, faces backwards. When clutching prey, the outer front toe on each foot swivels to face backwards like the hallux, granting a firmer grip around their prey. When an owl catches its quarry, it pushes the hallux through the creature's body. If that's not enough to kill it, the immense crushing power of their talons makes short work of the creature's skull. The owl then swallows the creature whole if it's not too big, otherwise ripping it apart using its beak and claws. The great horned owl potentially the world's most dangerous owl, grips with a force of around 500 psi. That's equal to the bite of a German Shepherd dog, 5 times stronger than that of a human hand. The front middle talon of the great horned owl possesses an extra cutting edge to tear its prey asunder. In order to withstand their high-impact hunting, owls' feet have evolved to be bonier, shorter, and stronger than most other birds. The underside of their feet are covered with a rough, knobbly surface to help grip and perch. Owls also possess a locking-like ratchet in their feet, keeping the claws locked around their prey, making escape impossible. Other than hunting, owls use their talons to defend their nest, becoming fiercely territorial during spring and summer, while they have young. When an intruder ventures too close, owls will dive bomb feet first, smashing into the creature with their claws, instinctively aiming for the head or face, regardless of the animal's size. People take them as totems, put them on their flags, and embrace them as mascots for their favorite sporting teams. Few creatures are as charismatic as the tiger, and few creatures wield weapons as deadly as the tiger's claws. Tigers were once common across Asia, from Turkey to the east coast of Russia, but thanks to human interference, are now only found from India to Southeast Asia and southeastern Siberia. They are few in numbers and highly endangered. They're territorial creatures, usually solitary, but can also be quite social. Females tend to be accepting of other females, while male tigers are likely to be intolerant of other males in their territory. When territorial disputes flare up, they're often resolved through displays of intimidation rather than physical combat. The submissive tiger will yield by rolling on its back, presenting its belly to the dominant male. After this, the dominant male will be more accepting, as long as it stays out of its way. Sometimes, with the heavy damage a tiger's claw can inflict, these confrontations will end in death. Tigers are apex predators and master hunters with a taste for deer and bovids. They are mainly nocturnal, but have been observed hunting during the day and usually hunt alone. They stalk their prey, attempting to remain undetected. On a successful approach, the tiger will ambush the creature, overpowering it with its immense size and strength. In short bursts, tigers can travel at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. They must be in close proximity for its ambush to succeed. If spotted too soon, the tiger will disengage from the hunt, rather than chase it down or confront the animal head-on. By using this method, a single tiger can take down water buffalo weighing over 2,200 pounds. Their limbs and claws are so powerful, attacks have been recorded where a single swipe is enough to break the skull of domestic cattle. This is possible due to a few reasons. The bones in the tiger's front legs are strong and dense, supporting the massive muscles attached to them. And the bones in their feet are connected by tight ligaments, buffering any impact. Tiger claws are retractable like any cat's. Ligaments hold them in a protective sheath, remaining retracted when not in use to ensure they remain sharp. Tigers' claws grow up to 4 inches in length. Each paw has 4 claws and a special claw located farther back on the front feet. This is the dew claw and functions much like a human thumb. The other claws being curved grants the tiger an incredible grasp, permitting them to hold large prey and climb trees head first. Despite the curved claws making climbing up trees very easy, climbing down is a little more difficult. They must either crawl backwards or jump, making them the most inferior climbers of the cat family. The dew claw doesn't make contact with anything while walking, so over time, they become incredibly long and sharp. The perfect weapon to hold down prey. A tiger will also use their claws to mark their territory by scratching trees, ripping at them repeatedly, leaving deep marks on the trunk. Secretions from between the claws leave deposits easily smelled by other tigers as a warning as to whose territory it is. On land, the tiger is probably the most famous creature for the use of their incredible claws. But in the water, that belongs to the crab. Humans have always been fascinated with the crab. From naming constellations, pulsar and nebulas in the skies, to depicting them in the art of ancient cultures. Even coming to the aid of heroes like Hercules as he battled the Hydra. Crabs are found all over the world. They reside in oceans, bodies of fresh water, and on land. They are even found in volcanic vents, thousands of feet below the ocean surface and under the ice of Antarctica. Like lobsters and prawns, they are decapods with 10 limbs, 8 of which are walking legs. Many crabs have flat bodies, allowing them to crawl into tight crevices. Generally, they're covered in a thick exoskeleton with 2 front limbs, armed with a pair of pincer-like claws called chelae. Each chelae have 2 fingers, one fixed and another movable called a dactyl. Usually, the right claw is bigger and blunt, used for crushing, while the left claw is smaller and sharp for cutting. The size of the muscle attached to the claw indicates how forceful its pinch is and the damage it will cause. But a crab's claws are not merely used for combative purposes. They also use them to communicate by drumming and waving, particularly when it's time to mate, a function not reliant on the power of its pinch. Fully aquatic species attract mates through the release of pheromones, while terrestrial and semi-terrestrial crabs implement visual, acoustic, and vibratory cues. Female fiddlers have two small claws they use to eat microscopic food. But the male fiddler crab has one chelae larger than the other, so large it constitutes half its body weight. When it's time to mate, he'll rhythmically wave his claw to attract the attention of females and threaten other males. The males of most crab species will battle each other for access to females. Some crabs are solitary, while other species live in groups, working together, providing food and protection for the family. But on the crowded rocky seashores, where competition for caves and crevices is fierce, crabs will fight over real estate. They're omnivores and eat pretty much anything, including algae, mollusks, worms, fungi, bacteria and detritus, even other crustaceans. This mix of food allows for the fastest growth and ultimate fitness. Some species require a more specialized diet, eating only plankton or shellfish. Some crabs will only eat fish. They have many predators, including seagulls, sea otters, octopi, fish, and humans. But their claws are an effective defense, capable of inflicting substantial damage, like the chelae of the Australian mud crab. They are big, fast, and strong, making them very dangerous. Crabs often lose claws in battle, but possess the nifty trick of growing new, fully functional replacements. Most crabs use their claws to fight, but there's one species that uses them to hide and disguise itself, even augmenting its own defense. The small boxer crab carries a pair of stinging anemones in its claws to fool predators. If the ruse fails, the predator has to deal with the painful, perhaps lethal stings of the anemones, along with the damage the crab's claws has inflicted. Many creatures have teeth and claws, including human beings. Unlike the teeth of the lion and crocodile, ours are now too small and fragile to bite into anything tougher than an overcooked steak. Dentistry has allowed the flash of our teeth to be a pleasant greeting to others, the complete opposite of a baboon's threatening grin. We are reliant on the butcher for our meat. We even cut it up with a knife and fork before chewing it. Far less superior than a wolf's teeth, tearing and grinding down all the flesh and bone till there is nothing left. Our claws have evolved to be soft, used for nothing more than to scratch an itch. They are quite irrelevant to our survival, not like the bear, who depends on their ability to rip open logs or the intestines of an animal. The owl's talons not only grip the food they need, they kill it. The tiger relies on theirs being razor sharp to maintain his place at the top of the food chain. Male crabs not just communicate with their claws, they wave them about to find a mate. Human beings have adapted to becoming the dominant force on the planet, where we have evolved intellectually.